Okay, so what we'll do today is we'll learn about unwrapping and texturing. So let's cover everything we've done so far. I'm going to start a new project. That new project is going to be called, I'll do a battery because we've had some interest of people making batteries. That has now created. So what I would do is to model this from an orthographic, or if it is an asset like this, I think I'm okay freeforming. So I'm just going to make what I think looks like a battery. This would be a pickup that I would be using for the torch. Okay, let's do some basic modeling here. What sort of details? Okay, I'll select those, extrude, bring that in, just push it down slightly to create a little bit of a lip there. Extrude to get that contact point as well. And extrude up again so that I've got that. Okay. Might go back a step. And with this particular one, let's make it a bit more obvious. Because it is a battery pickup, I'll just make it a bit more obvious. Yeah, create some grooves, there we go. Okay, extrude in again. Create that little contact point there, and we'll put it up like that. Cool. Let's go down here to the bottom, so select faces and then deselect those ones so that I only have those selected. And what I'll do is Control E that. Just bring it in like that. Bring that in and bring something like that. And I might, what do I want to do with that? Bring it up or down. Like that. There we go. So let's say that is our basic battery. I might just get this edge here and now let's leave it like that because yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, excellent. Alright, so we've got our battery here. I want to make sure I name it battery. We could name it battery mesh so that we know what's what, and I'm going to unwrap that one. So I'm going to go into my UV editor. Obviously 2 windows is much more helpful here, but I can select that, and this is what it looks like because it is a cylinder, so this is the UV it's created. What I'm going to do is I can either, for something that's complicated under UV, if we go automatic, what it will do is it'll sort of map it how it thinks it should work. This can help us because it can break it down into sections for us, and then we can start to stitch it together. But let's go back and do it a different way. So I know that this cylindrical bit just here, okay, what I want for this to be unwrapped is just for the camera to pan all around it like a cylinder, and I will do it that way. And so I will, if we have a look there, you can see it. I'm going to go UV cylindrical, and it's just unwrapped it really nicely. That's the body that I want. And I'll just, actually I won't resize it yet because if we resize it, nothing else will be in scale. So let's just put it over here for now. We want to try and fit everything onto this particular part just here. So if we press just here, you'll see it's called U1V1. And so when we export it up here, it tells us what range we would like to export. So we just try to keep it in there. That will be large enough. Okay. And if I turn on that checker texture, you can see it actually gives us a look to see this is what it would look like. So if I was to put a generic battery texture in it now, that's what that would look like. This would be very stretched. This is why we unwrap it. Okay, well let's do the next step. I'll turn that off so it's a bit easier to see. What I will also do is I will UV cylindrical that bit just there, and also this bit down here. but I'll just do the top bit for now, and then we can skip ahead to the next step. Okay, so if we map that out over here, you can see it has actually selected some of these areas. So what I'll do is I'll go UV Cylindrical. We'll get that up again and have a look, and it's done that. So those are both the same size. So if we turn on our checker plate, you can see the scale just there, roughly the same as there. Okay, now the other method I'd use for this, because there's some flat surfaces, are the planar method. So what I want to do is select everything that's not this, and also not that. And what I'll do is I will planar, and I could do 2 at a time, so I could do this bottom section, but for now I'll just do this top bit. And I will planar. Now I'll go to more options with planar so I can see what options I have. I want to make sure I keep the image width height ratio, and I need to know what axis I'm going to go from. Now over here I can see that the Y axis goes up and down, and I want to get the up camera, the one that's over the top, the overhead camera, to hear that. So that's a Y axis. I'm going to press project, and over here it has mapped that for me. So I now have an image of that. If I press this one over here, I can shade it so I can see the shading, and we want to make sure it is all blue. So what I'll do is I'll finish unwrapping this using the planar and cylindrical methods, and then we'll pick it up next lesson.